All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner here with the Week 2 New York Giants film review versus Washington football team. A heartbreaking loss on Thursday night. I don't need to tell you about that. Got about 20 plays I want to go through, offense and defense, and we go chronologically, so kind of, you see how the game plays out. Some good stuff on offense, some stuff that's not great, and then on the defense, there's I'm going to kind of try and point out like some of the soft zone stuff and what I think might be the biggest issue with the way James Bradberry is playing. So let's get into it. First, like, subscribe, went. All right, let's get into it. The first third down of the game, third and short. This is kind of what we wanted to see more out of, man coverage. And honestly, we saw like good results. The Giants had good results when they played man coverage throughout the night. Now, we're not going to go through all of them, but here's one where it worked, and there's the beginning of play. Now, and it wasn't like it was a great pass rush either. Let's go through it. You got manned up here, man coverage. Safety high, linebacker low to come and cut this off with Mclaren. Good job all around. Heineke, he wants to come here. Does he want to throw here? Good man coverage all across the board. Giants struggled in man coverage versus Denver, but they did well when they played it versus Washington. Azeez gets a sack. We'll go through that from the other angle. Doesn't win. Nobody wins initially. Good pocket here. And now last week, you could say Azeez's sack was a coverage sack. I think coverage sack is one of the worst terms in football. Almost all sacks are coverage sacks. You see good job by Azeez getting his hands inside the offensive tackle. And now I would like him to try and rip through, do something here, because he kind of just, like, if the ball comes out here, you're not saying good pass rush by Azeez. But what I like, rip those hands off of you. Watch that. The little sky cam's in the way. Swipes those hands down. Bam. Now you got 2 sacks in 2 games for Azeez Ojulari. Good stuff. Good stuff. They got a punt. All right. I'm going to go through a negative play on the offense. This ends up being a sack, and this is on Daniel Jones. So you basically have a max protect almost. 2-man route. Now, Caden's going to come, he's going to leave his blocking assignment. It's going to be a block and release. And you're wanting to get to one of these two. And Jones has just got to pull the trigger here. Pull the trigger. Let's go through it. You got good protection up front. Now, you got Kenny Golladay. This safety is going with Shepard. This safety's here. This linebacker is not going to be able to hit that ground. The ball should be coming out of Jones's hands right now and be put right around here. That linebacker is not going to make that play. So there's an example of how, Jones and Kenny Golladay need to get back. Still need some to get on the same page sometimes, because this should have been a big play and it ends up being a sack, and this is on Jones. Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger, man. And these 2-man routes with these max protect, it is all about timing. It's finding those holes in the zone. They're usually going to be, between 2 different players, but you have to make those throws. Ends up being a sack. Let's look up. I didn't do the protection up front. Next play, the touchdown draw. So look at it from this angle first. All out-breaking routes. You see down here, out, tight end, out. These players going to the corner of the end zone. Gives Jones a one-on-one with the linebacker. Just makes a play. Good job by Billy Price sealing off John Bostic. And then it's Daniel Jones. Get me 3 yards. Touchdown. Good job. Good job. Celebrate with your teammates. Next play. Oh, so I'll let the play run through, but I want to watch Lorenzo Carter on this. This is beautiful from Lorenzo. Now, Lorenzo hasn't really showed out a ton so far in the season. He's done a decent job versus the run, really not much versus the pass. So you see this guard is pulling. And what this guard is trying to do is kick out Lorenzo Carter. So the guard wants to get inside shoulder and push him out and have a hole up here. But Lorenzo plays this perfectly. He gets upfield, and then you see, immediately reads this pull. Immediately. And spills. Spill inside of this player. Beautifully done. Wrecks the play. The play's wrecked because of Lorenzo Carter doing his job. I'm telling you, a lot of guys, O'Shane Zimenez, probably Azeez Ojulari off rip. They probably are playing right here, and it doesn't even need to be a great block. But that totally wrecks a pull. If you can spill and get inside correctly on those pulls, it just wrecks running plays. Where they're trying to use their tight end as a lead blocker. And I like that he was the one who ended up getting the tackle on it as well. Next rep, offense back. This is Saquon's 41-yard run. So you got Caden Smith coming from the backside of the lead blocker. Washington, I did a full breakdown on this on Twitter. Washington stunts their players. They stunt their linebackers. So these two guys stunt. So originally you would chalk him up to this gap and then Bostic to this gap. Nope. Bostic takes this. Allen jumps backside here. Holcomb's playing this gap. So a good job adjusting by Price to get his head up, see it. Doesn't land the block amazing, like perfectly, but do it. If you make a mistake, make it 100 miles per hour. Move him. Beautifully done. Caden Smith, head on a swivel. I'm telling you, a lot of times when these guys are coming back, from this side, they are just like, in reality, he's just trying to get through this gap. So I'm telling you, a lot of guys, when they do this play, they just run into here. They run into here because they know I have to get on the right side of the center. But he does a good job adjusting. He's a good blocker and realizing that if I do that, the play's wrecked. So slows down that horse, turns his head, seals it off. And on the backs, on the front side, these guys are stunting. Good job by Hernandez pushing it out. Good job by Solder staying with this. And then the rest is Saquon off to the races. 41 yards. 41 yards. Next play, this is the Terry McLaurin touchdown. And this is kind of what my biggest gripe would be with Patrick Graham. It's not just like zone in general. It's James Bradbury. James Bradbury is that dude. Have him playing up, especially down here in the red zone. Because look at all that space. He's got no help. It'd be one thing if you had if you were having, him play in the curl hooks and back here, but I mean, this is just pitch and catch. I mean, at the snap of the ball, there's 6 yards of separation into his back pedal. He's playing outside leverage. I mean, I'm not even mad at James Bradbury on this play. I blame this on Patrick Graham, not James Bradbury. Like, watching this game, I came back and I'm like, okay, I'm not really as worried about James Bradbury as long as they start using him. Play him up here. You don't even have to press him. You don't even have to play man coverage, but you don't give him those easy spaces, and it's just pitch and catch for the QB. I mean, that's how you draw it up. That's what you're hoping for. That's what they're hoping for when they run this play. To see Bradbury playing 6 yards off and then get into the back pedal. It's just pitch and catch. So again, I'm not mad at Bradbury on that play, honestly. Like, he's put in a bad position. Bradbury is better than what that play ends up looking like, and he's better than what the results were for Terry McLaurin in this game. Here's the read option touchdown that got called back on a bogus holding penalty. I mean, everyone I mean, they're running a blitz on this play. They're blitzing, so it's perfectly called at the right time. I mean, everyone's crashing inside. This linebacker's crashing in. This safety's rolling down to come help with the run. You got these two players over here, and then you got manned up. I mean, that's easy. And then you got long strides. Daniel Jones outrunning Landon Collins. See it from the other view. I mean, Landon Collins just comes crashing down on this. And it's honestly unneeded. Like I keep on calling him Logan. Why would Landon crash down on this? Play the QB. Because they have this front side covered up. Let's see if we can find the holding. I don't see it. I see a mugging, not a holding. And Daniel Jones should have had over 100 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, but he doesn't get it. Here, I love this. I love this play so much. This is some of the maturation of Daniel Jones. Of honestly, This is a stick call. See? You got Shepard in the flats. Caden Smith on the stick. This is a stick call. This play is supposed to go to Caden Smith, and then you force the ball, and it's tight. You get no yak, and it's third. And now you catch the ball, and it's 3rd and 4. Like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of 3rd and 4. I'm a big fan of first downs. And when you're at the 22-yard line, take some shots. When you got Mr. Kenny Galladay, the guy you signed him to. So they have an alert on the back side of this of saying, like, hey, if you want the one-on-one matchup, go there. And I'm glad that Daniel Jones is doing that. And they're not putting him on a slant on the backside. I don't know if this was audible or what, but I am so glad he's going to this. He's got this safety up here. They got a too high look. That safety rolls. Bam. I mean, that's what Daniel Jones is reading. Let me read that safety. Landon Collins rolls. I got a one-on-one with Kenny Galladay. Holding. Pass interference. Nice release by Kenny Galladay. And Kenny Galladay wins. It's a win. And then he gets pulled. Might have been a little overthrown if it doesn't get pulled, but it's hard to say. He gets all his momentum stopped. I'm so glad he threw this instead of this. This does nothing for me. It gets you to 3rd and 4 in the red zone. I love that. That's some of the maturation of Daniel Jones, of taking things under his control. Defensive pass interference. All right, next play, we're on the defense. What do we got on this one? Oh, this is another one, a teaching point on James Bradberry. Look, we're down here. Look how far he's playing off. You have 2 high safeties. You don't need him playing that far off. And again, are you mad at James Bradberry on this play? Like, James Bradberry I'm not mad at him for getting up a slant here. Play action draws in this player. I mean, this is easy for the offense. This is Patrick Graham making it easy for the offense. I'd be surprised. I'd be blown away if they didn't complete passes like this. So, I will say, after watching the film, I'm not as worried about Bradberry if they start playing him. I mean, you give him the pre-snap look and everything. Play right here. Play right here. You've got Logan Ryan over the top. You can trust him. Take away inside leverage. But this is it's too easy. You know, and I think the soft zone is sometimes it's just like it's playing the results, but come on. And now I'm going to rail on Patrick Graham again. I don't know what this is. They called this play like it was 3rd and 10. It just doesn't, look over here. Playing zero idea of maybe they run the ball. I mean, they acted like that. Them running the ball here would have been a shock. They acted like it was a 3rd and 12 draw play. I mean, I just don't get this. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 guys on the line. It's hard for me. I mean, what do I even say here? I mean, they basically yelled, run the ball. Run the ball to the left. I mean, that's the easiest touchdown Washington's going to get all year. I don't know what the hell was going on. Like, that just makes no sense. You know, there's other things where it's like, like the soft zones. Like, I understand the reasons behind that, even though I may disagree with it. That, I don't know. And that was after a timeout, too. Like, that's like, if there's anything that you look at and like, that's the bad look on Patrick Graham, that's it. And Patrick Graham's a coach who cares about the run game a lot. Next one, Giants running a route concept called Dagger. Good job on Jones checking down on this. So what Dagger is you have this receiver clearing out, this receiver running a dig, and then you have the check down here. But I'm going to critique Garrett on this too. So in reality, Jones wants to throw the ball here. He wants to throw the ball here to Darius Slayton. Like, if he has the time, it gets there. But I like him checking down. Like, he reads it, gets my check down. That's what he did a better job at. And that's why I like these deeper concepts. Look, it doesn't mean you're going all or nothing. Get to the check down. But here's something. Dagger almost always has, on the backside, something coming across. And Garrett doesn't. And he did this last year, too. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason for this receiver to be running a nothing route. Put him on a crosser. I mean, look at all this space on the field right here. Look at all this space on the field right here. Maybe that occupies this safety, this linebacker, or like you put Kenny Galladay on a crosser right here, and guess who's in conflict? Oh my God, I just don't get this. Guess who's in conflict? This player. So either this player comes and plays a crosser, you know, and you have a check down with nobody covering it, or he continues to play it like this, and you've got, you know, man coverage. Maybe it's good man coverage, but you can put that into a window for Kenny Galladay. Like, Google Dagger concept, and I guarantee you it'll have something on the back end coming across. That makes no sense. But good job on Jones. He's reading. Reads that safety. You see the head turn. Read the safety. Feels the pressure. All right, I gotta get rid of the ball. Good internal clock. Good stuff. Get your 3 yards. You can live with it. It's like a 3-yard run. You can live with that. You know, it wasn't third down. So this was the play where they brought in every single person except for Kenny Galladay. And I'll explain the run play. But here's what I want to say. This can turn into a 40-yard pass later in the year. Because you either have Kenny Galladay, what you signed him for is to win these matchups right here. So what you can either do is if this safety comes and plays down, you have a one-on-one with Kenny Galladay. Throw it. You have play action. I mean, here's the handoff. Look at this wall. He would have plenty of time to lace a ball into there. Here's what you also could do. Sterling Shepard. Have him leak out. So you do a match protect and then go balls with Shep and Galladay. You see where this safety goes. I mean, Shep could leak out of this. And it could be either a wide open touchdown for him, or you can get a nice one-on-one with Kenny Galladay to explain what went wrong on it. This was Andrew Thomas' worst run blocking rep of the game. I actually thought he had a pretty good game run blocking wise. And I went over this in the O-line report. He's got to get his helmet on this side, get this shoulder, and down block him. He gets too over anxious on this. He's trying to just kill him, and he loses it. But I also hate this because, like, all right, Shepard's not made to, like, he's not a blocker. Now you have this, even if Andrew Thomas does a good job, you have this guy unblocked in the hole. Next play. Good man coverage out of the Giants on this play. Man coverage worked for the Giants. And you got this safety high. You got Peppers staggered down here, and they're going to double the tight end. I mean, look at this man. These are man-beating routes right here. Good job. You bring the safety here. Bradbury's shutting down Mclaren. You got one-on-one with Holmes here. Blake Martinez playing under, and then you got Peppers and Tay Crowder doubling the tight end on the drag. It's a completion, but like it's a 4-yard completion. Like that's good man coverage, and they could have been a better tackle, and it could have been a 2-yard completion. So, like, they had, especially at the end of the game, I wish they would have done that. We're going to go through how soft. We talk about soft zone. It was the softest zone at the end of the game. Here, love this play. So, Kadarius Toney played 19 reps, and I looked through it. I think he had 11 run play. No, he had 9 run plays, 5 curl routes, which is, like, Kadarius Toney is not, like, if there's anything, like, he doesn't have his timing down. Curls are all about timing. So, why put half his routes? This was the one play where I was like, this is the way you use Kadarius Toney. So you got 2 high safeties. You got Kenny Galladay's clearing out. You're not looking at Kenny Galladay. You got him. You got the safety. And this is the stuff that Jason Garrett should run. This is the stuff that modern offenses should run. It's putting defenders in conflict. You put this guy in conflict. So what do? Kyle Rudolph is outside releasing, which he kind of acts as a clear out. You got Kadarius Toney on a drag route, Sterling Shepard on a crossing route, which they don't run crossers, you know? Like, this is like the only time. And then the only time they did it last week was a touchdown versus the Broncos for Shep. And guess what? That's a man in conflict right there. That's a man in conflict seeing Kadarius Toney running a drag route. And guess what? You get a nice 19-yard completion to Sterling Shepard. 19-yard completion to Sterling Shepard. Well, what happens next time? What happens next time if this player plays man with Sterling Shepard? Now you got Kadarius Toney on a wide open drag route. 19-yard play. These are easy reads. These are easy reads for the QB. This is not a pre-snap read. This is what Jones is better. Stop trying to make Jones do pre-snap, quick concepts. This is what we want. This is the stuff he does well. See it from this eye. He's just read that safety. That safety's going out. All right. Now I'm reading this player. He's not looking at Sterling Shepard. He's not looking at Darius Toney. He's reading this player. All right, he's coming under. As soon as this player makes the move, as soon as he's like, I'm covering Kadarius Toney, bam, put it on Shep. A little behind him, but put it on him. 19-yard catch. 19-yard catch. Chunk play. Do stuff like that. Here's the Darius Slayton touchdown, and this is, again, talking about the maturation of Daniel Jones. This was an audible call. You know what the original play call was? Watch the other routes. All curls. It was all curls, which they ran a ton of. They didn't run as much stick. They ran a stick twice. But they ran a plenty of curls, and especially in the late game. This is what Garrett went back to, and I hate it. You want to see why I hate it? Because look, covered. I mean, that's Sterling Shepard. That's a good route runner. Covered. That's why I hate that all curl crap. So this Daniel Jones, and he did it in this game. Take control of the offense. Stop playing in this. Start audibling out of this stuff. On that stick concept, on that throw to Kenny Galladay, start going to your alerts. He's reading this safety. You got this safety high. He's shading to this side. You got press man covers. Darius Slayton's great versus press man. Bam, and puts a dime on him. Touchdown, New York Giants. Move this safety with your eyes. Right. I'm looking over here. He knows he's not going over there. He has no plan of throwing it over here. He's just keeping this safety over here. He's keeping this safety honest. Because you can see it. He's not reading. As soon as he turn the head, turn your hips, you got pressure. Touchdown. Touchdown, Giants. Next play. A form of four verts. You'll see the outside routes are turning the curls, but they still occupy the corners the way a go ball would. And look, Caden Smith, who's not the most athletic guy in the world, 21-yard catch. Easy. Pitch and catch. They can't cover it. Is it because Caden Smith is some dynamic tight end? No. It's because it's a hard route concept to cover. I would run it 5 times a game because you're going to get guys like that. And then what's going to happen the next time that you run it and run actual four verts and not curls? They'll run too high. They'll put him covering here, him covering here, one player covering here, and then you have someone wide open. Run this stuff, man. They did this a ton with Daniel Jones in 2019. That's why Caden Smith, his big plays came from that. Good stuff. Here's the touchdown the non-touchdown to Darius Slayton. And then this is good stuff from Garrett. Not like world, changing. This isn't like putting 19 guys in motion and just simple. You're attacking. This defense is called to stop a big play. But that doesn't mean you can't get a big play. Because guess what happens? This safety, he's reading him. He wants to shut this down. You're making one read off of one safety. Jones realizes at this point, this safety's he's not bailing out and covering this post route. And that's how you get big plays versus the cover 4. He plays down with that tight end. Unleash it. Let's say if the safety does bail, though. This safety's like, he's going deep. I bail. Now you got a big play over the middle to the tight end. So I would have liked him to put a little less on this, but part of that is when he throws this ball, he doesn't realize it's going to be a blown coverage, so he's trying to put a perfect ball on him. Although I think that could be an actual real critique of Jones, and I think Orlovsky talked about it last year, is that he's always trying to throw the perfect pass. Sometimes just take a little bit off of it and let your guys make a play. especially with Kenny Galladay. Maybe not as much with Slayton, but with Kenny Galladay, maybe take a little bit off of it sometimes. Let him turn his body and make a play on it. Next one, this is when Tay Crowder got beat in man coverage versus J.D. McKissick. Part of this is pass rush. This is the dangers of running man coverage. This is the dangers of running man coverage as the team gets down the field in 2 plays. I mean, look, good man coverage. We got good man coverage all around. We got the safety playing deep, covering here. You got Blake coming under here. McKinney's doing a good job. You got this covered. This out route covered. That's a hard throw if he wants to throw it. But he pops it up. And you can't expect Tay Crowder to cover that perfectly. You just can't. And that leads to a big play. And part of it is the pass rush. Look at this pocket. He's got all day. The Giants actually tried to run this. The Nate Solder sack versus the Broncos was this out and up by Saquon. But they couldn't block it up. And that leads to a big play. Next 3 plays will be all defensive. This is the Bradbury interception. Just beautiful job jumping this route by Bradbury. So, they're in man coverage. Now, Bradbury's playing very soft in this. Tay Crowder's covering the running back. The running back's coming out. It's slow. It ruins their own play concept. Ruins this, and this is what the man coverage does. Because he can't run through Crowder. That slows it down. I mean, I think Bradbury makes a play on this either way. It probably an incompletion because McLaurin's walling him off. But man, this is what Bradbury is good at, man. I mean, look at this break. Look at the break on this ball. It's unreal. I mean, as soon as he sees this, he realizes what route this is. They ran it earlier in the game. Should have won the game. That should have been a game-winning play. See it from the other view. I mean, just beautiful stuff. Okay, last 2 one we're going to go through. This is 3rd and 10. At the end of the game. This is the last drive, the game-winning field goal drive. And then after these 2 plays, they moved the ball, but it was only like 4 or 5-yard plays because the Giants started playing man coverage. And they were doing a good job. And this is where this takes soft zone to a different level. So look where the line of scrimmage is, 27-yard line. On 3rd and 10. You got your curl hook defenders playing 15 yards deep. You've got your safeties playing 26 yards deep. The easiest check down ever is 4-down territory. If this was 4th and 10, you could do this. If this is 4th and 10, you could do this. This is the softest of soft zones. I mean, this is unreal how soft this is. I mean, this is easy. Even gets a decent pass rush on this play. And it sets up 4th and 1. And here's what's frustrating. On 4th and 1, we don't get lined up. This is 4th and 1. Of course they're going to hand the ball off. We don't get lined up. And it's an easy run. And of course he's going to hand 4th and 1. This you could end the game here. Bring guys up. Donnie Holmes has his back turned. Julian Love's, I mean, you're just not ready. This is undisciplined. This is where the undisciplined talking points come. This is undisciplined. You got Blake playing 5 yards back. You've got your defensive ends playing wide 7 techniques. You have a wide 9, a wide 7. I mean, of course they're running it. It's basically 4-on-2. I mean, this is the easiest. Logan Thomas doesn't even do anything. Like, he doesn't do anything. He looks like he's part of the Giants team. He just sits there. Like he had money on the game or something. I mean, come on. That's the difference between a game there. If you make a stop there, you have Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Austin Johnson. You got Blake Martinez. You got Tay Crowder, Reggie Ragland. You got Jabril Peppers who could come play up. And that's what you run on 4th and 1? Come on. I know they're running hurry up, but you got to give something better than that. You got to give something better than that. You basically gave it to them. And they end up winning the game. So, all right, that's it. The rest of the plays were decent man coverage, and they were just getting 4-yard passes, so I'm not going to break those down. So I think they did good in man. Now, they did get burnt in man versus Denver, so It's a little high. It's a little bit playing the results when you're like, oh, they should have played man. Well, it's like they did play man versus Denver, and they got beat on it a few times, especially at the end of the half. So I do think they'll figure it out defensively. They got too many good players to not figure it out. They got too many good players for them to not make any plays in this game. So I wouldn't panic about the defense. You'd be worried, but I'm not. I'm not throwing Patrick Graham under the bus quite yet. The offense, Jones is performing well. Jones is manipulating the pocket well. He's getting better command of audibling at the line of scrimmage. That's the way for this offense to play well. They scored 29 points, and Jones played damn near perfect in this game. I don't want to say perfect, but he played really well. So we'll see if it continues. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next one. We have a podcast coming out tomorrow, mailbag. Justin's got a stat report. Check out the O-line report if you haven't. There's a lot of stuff. Check it out. Let's go Big Blue.